Just past high tide, 70 degrees, just past 7 a.m. on June 14th. And the moon is getting bigger and brighter every night. Ready to start the day, T-Rex? Let's go. Let's get this show on the road. You too. Steve, Maine Coon with a lion cut haircut for the summer. Looking good. Weather looks pretty okay right now. Definitely a warmer morning. 70 degrees here. I checked the temperatures at 6 a.m. Look where some of the warmest readings were. Berlin, New Hampshire was 70 degrees. North Adams, Massachusetts was 70 degrees. Other areas in the low 60s with a dew point also near 60. And so those numbers I just read to you are from higher elevations. Look at Mount Washington. The base of Mount Washington close to 70, summit close to 50, so we have warm air advection. That is a warmer air mass advancing, and we've been underneath that old, cold upper low for so many days, so you had to see the warm air advance, and guess what? It's here for yesterday and today. Today, the dew point goes into the 60s, so it's warmer and more humid, but there's a front coming, actually dual fronts. Look at the 997 lows in Quebec and dual cold fronts coming at us this morning, and they're going to cause a ruckus, a battle of the air masses. We're going to have a clash of the warm trying to come in, but the cold is going to beat it up and push it out, and the battle zone is going to result in towering cumulonimbus, clouds taller than Mount Everest, lightning, thunder, rain, and hail in the forecast today. Here's the satellite imagery from early in the morning. You can make out the clouds already stretching across northern New England. That's sort of the remnant of yesterday's severe weather. And there was a little bit of lightning near Lake Champlain this morning. Here's the storm report map from Severe Storm Prediction Center yesterday. Severe storms focused in Kansas through Missouri up into northern New York, with the storms decaying just west of Lake Champlain yesterday. Over Missouri, incredible hail. One of the storm chasers, Jason, says, yeah, we're sitting here, baseballs are hitting the windshield, and we're losing the windshield right now. I can't remember how he worded it. It was pretty funny. And then this photo of a woman holding what looks like more like grapefruit-sized hail in Glenwood, Missouri yesterday. That was the worst weather. I don't think we're going to get grapefruit-sized hail in New England, but how about golf ball-sized hail? That's certainly a possibility today. The Severe Storm Prediction Center has us in the marginal risk zone there for real strong storms coming through. You look at the Weather Prediction Center graphic for 2 p.m., you can see that big red shaded area. That means significant thunderstorms are likely. Although I think the worst of the storms are actually going to be a little south of that shaded area. We will defer this morning to the 3-kilometer NAM high resolution guidance hour by hour today. There are this morning's showers and decaying, and then a new line of showers and storms. Looks like it's trying to form over southern New Hampshire, but then really taking off in southern New England. 12, 1, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Slow it right down, coming right through from Boston to Hartford, Connecticut. That looks like the worst of the weather, about 3, 4 o'clock this afternoon going into southeastern New England. That is the dual cold fronts condensing into one. And it looks like we're going to have a wave of low pressure with some showers and a thunderstorm in southeastern Massachusetts lingering overnight. And early tomorrow morning, the front is just exiting Cape Cod. And rainfall amounts. Yesterday we showed that bullseye of 7+ inches near Northampton, Massachusetts. Not quite as robust, but still a signal for some very heavy rain and possible flash flooding from the NAM. And I run it through, and you can see some areas, it's like a rainfall lottery. Some areas get inches of rain, other areas get very little. And you can see the stripes have changed a little, but it's still looking like the most rain is going to fall where we've had the least amount over the last 4 weeks. Oh, there's a wind gust from the southwest. That's the warm weather direction. You can see the boats are pointed right at us. And so when the boats are pointed toward the southwest, it's a warm day. When it's this windy early in the day, this front is going to pack a punch. There'll be damaging wind and damaging hail. As for rainfall amounts, now Jeff Mers asked me, when you show that specific number, what's it for? Well, right to the upper left of the box. That's where I put the cursor over on this pivotalweather.com website, and the cursor will show you how much rain for that specific spot. And that 5+ is over Hartford or Windsor Locks, Connecticut, for all this rain that's going to be done by about 24 hours from now. It may linger a little bit on Cape Cod tomorrow morning. Tomorrow is the Nantucket Sound fundraiser called Poker Run. Boating for fun and to raise funds. And it looks like the wind's probably going to start off light from the north, maybe even northeast, and then come in from the north and northwest, which is, it's a good weather direction for Nantucket Sound. Whereas today it's so windy from the southwest. Tomorrow the air is going to come in from Canada, and there's going to be a nice renewed cool air mass coming at us. Tomorrow, the dew point's going to fall back from the 60s today into the 40s by tomorrow night. And now if we go to the day by day of the Euro, and I'm going to go really slow here, and leading us up into next week's heat, we get a cool off before that. So one more brief cool wave coming at us. Tonight, the 540 line, cold enough for snow, is to our north as low pressure goes across Quebec. And to our south, that's potentially a subtropical storm south of Nantucket, 1,004 millibars, going to attach itself to the front, but that's taken off regardless of what it does. And high pressure is building, slow right down 1025 high pressure system right over New England on Sunday morning. Doesn't look like record cold, like I mentioned a couple days ago. 40s and 50s, not really cold enough for records, I don't think. But nice chilly start Sunday morning. Looks like a beautiful day with light winds, and probably have a sea breeze, beautiful beach day, sunburn day. And then as that high moves offshore, we'll get more into a southwest wind again starting Monday. It comes back really quickly, and all of a sudden that 570 thickness is right over us again. That would be warm enough for 90 degrees, getting close on Monday, and then Tuesday, it's here. And we're gonna have a snowstorm in the northwestern United States, maybe a tropical storm forming in the Gulf of Mexico, and across much of the central part of the United States into New England. It's going to be a heat wave that may last days and days. Trying to get out of the wind here. It's not really working. The wind is following me around the Alberta spruce right underneath the weather stick, which is pointed up a little bit. That weather stick's going to turn around. And I think we get a Steve under here. Oh, I guess I took a break from showing that Euro, trying to escape the wind. All right, go back to the Euro. And you got the high pressure sprawling across the United States east of the Rockies. And to the north of it, you have the 576 thickness, which means 96 degrees the middle of next week. And then there's a 1,017 low pressure system. That's a very weak low on the front that's trying to bring cooler air to northern New England next Thursday night, Friday, but it's not going to make it. At least the latest guidance has the 576 lifting back with some scattered showers and thunderstorms. You call it the ring of thunder when you get thunderstorms all around the heat. And if I stop it at 240 hours way out there around, let's see, the solstice Thursday is the 20th, full moon Friday 21st, Saturday 22nd, 23rd Sunday, 24th around there, 24th of June Monday. The 582 thickness is here. That would equate to close to 100 degrees. So it looks like parts of New England may be going for 100 degrees away from the south coast anytime, really, starting next Wednesday or so. So the heat's going to be on. We're going to have to test out our air conditioners, try and find a place near the water. The water temperature is now up into the mid-60s. So I planned my wedding a long time ago for when the water temperature hit the mid-60s, because generally that's about as cold as it can get at that time of the year. And so we are headed for a cool location. Not yet, though. We're still here another day or two. A lot of work going on. I didn't show it, but the Gulf of Mexico is going off. There could be a tropical storm or even a hurricane somewhere near Texas or Mexico in a few days, more than a few days, about 8 or 10 days. All right, so show you one more thing. The Sterling, Massachusetts. I got a call coming in while I'm talking. Kevin, I'll call you later. It shows temperatures well into the 90s, and the range says over 100. And you see that wave at the end where it kind of backs down into the 80s. I think that's going to change tomorrow. I think we're going to end up keeping the heat an extra a while, so we may end up with something like a 7-day heat wave by the looks of things. And there is snow forecast in the northwestern United States and southwestern Canada. Extreme weather happens all the time. Talked about it yesterday. Cape Cod, it was a beautiful day, perfect for working, getting a lot done yesterday. And then went to Duxbury Beach Reservation Community Gathering. The Beach Ball, they called it. Thank you, Jim, for hosting. Jim, a meteorologist, told me stories about a storm in Portland, Oregon in 1962 that caused 100-mile-an-hour winds. He was a meteorologist for the Air Force. Lots of great people yesterday. Thanks for hosting us. The Garrett family and everybody else that I met. Lots of new friends yesterday again in Duxbury, watching the wing boarders out there on their foils. That was pretty fun. And Miles Standish keeping an eye on all of us. So that's your and more, and we'll be out the door again in 24 hours. Talk to you then. We are blessed in Dennis to have so many waterways. This is Swan River. It runs kind of adjacent to Bass River on this side of Herring River. There's an osprey nest. Anybody in there? Here, a red-winged blackbird. Shellfish area closed. And there's the fog cloud. On the south side of Cape Cod, it's cooler today. That's what happens when the wind is from the southwest. And usually you can head north and get more in the way of sunshine. I know last week when we went to Mayflower, it didn't work out, but I think this week it does. Certainly next week. Also waterfront dining in the back deck of Clancy's. Seafood and traditional food and feel-good food. And the river's down there somewhere, just trust me. Very warm outside, but inside, all the registers are frozen. We've got the Gigabyte Blues. Gigabyte Blues, Gigabyte Blues, here at Ocean State Job Lot. Lots of great stuff, you know, we come down, we do our spring cleaning and stocking up and all that. And they got a lot of stuff here, it's really good. Used to be Bradley's, Mrs. B was buying when we were kids, and that was Stop and Shop right there. Now it's Dollar Tree beneath the thinner stratocumulus cloud. Feels close to 80, so the warmer the air gets, the less likely you're going to have fog, even if it's more humid. You can warm it up the air mass. Here in Dennisport, Massachusetts. Guess where we're going next? Nope. Wrong. Still very green, still on the south shore. Headed toward the ocean.
1 mile, turn right onto Harrison Street.
Oh, Siri's giving it away. Very pretty. I love the flags. I think I'm near where Joe Perry used to live, or maybe Steven Tyler. That's too new. DYC. I'd never want to be a member of a club that would have members like me. Seems all roads lead to water. Live at 5. No matter where I go, I like to catch live at 5.
We made it to 5 o'clock with that close to the weekend. I've got a birthday to celebrate.
Yeah.
Before I get to that, on this day, 1975, Peter Frampton played the first of 2 nights at the Winterland Ballroom in San Francisco. Recordings from these 2 shows he did were used as that legendary live double album Frampton.
Okay, it says King Caesar. Doesn't Caesar mean king? So is this King Road? King Caesar seems a little redundant. When the fish is pointing toward the south, that means it's getting warmer, which is normal because it's June and we're almost to the solstice and we're at a beautiful place. Thank you for having it. Look at the weather instruments. Oh my goodness, we've got dual anemometers and it looks like they're matching up. Yes. Yep, can't get much closer to the water. Thank goodness it's shallow water and not with an ocean bench. This is what you call hard armor. Hard armor, your shoreline, you're gonna run out of beach, but you preserve the land and this beautiful real estate. Gorgeous. I'll have to ask a naturalist about this one. Beautiful tree. And of course, every beach house has a carriage house, so to speak. Extra house. And the new thing is called wing. And it's not that new, but it's kind of new, where you just hold the wing. You're attached to it and the board. Perfect day for it. Wing foil and Miles Standish. And recreational craft. Can you do an out the door weather and more? What's your name? What do you smell? Hi. 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 Making new friends every day. Got it going on right there. It's the Duxbury Beach Preservation Community. Get out over towards Gurnett. Thinking about you, Tom. And you're right over there on the other side of the wing foil man and another wing foil man. Looking over towards Plymouth Bay from Duxbury Bay and Kingston Bay. And Miles Standish watching over all of us. Donald, look at this tree. Looks like a live oak. This is how live oaks grow, right? Could it be? Can we have a live oak growing in New England? We're in Duxbury right now. Extraordinary. Tell us a story, tree.
Oh, she didn't go.
She was too stressed.
Sure did. I don't think.
Everything okay down there? Anything we can do for you? Some beer?
Oh my gosh.
Oh! They're everywhere. 1, 2, 3. Where'd they go? There were about 10 of them just a few minutes ago.
Locally sourced, very well priced sand to complete our dune project this winter, which we funded without grants, and it was a $1.8 million project. It's very meaningful to our staff and to our volunteers, so thank you very much again. I must also call out Martha Clapp and Charlie Clapp, our beach ball chairs, and all our host committee. They've come through for us year after year.
There, it's called the beach, but it comes with a lot of dunes, and that saves this house. Anyhow, without further ado, I'd like to introduce you, oh, come on, we all know you, to Maggie.
Everyone knows Tony Kelso. We know that. Yeah. What you might not know is that Tony's dad was a trustee of Duxbury Beach Reservation back in the day.
Really is still today just, you know, peerless in terms of the history of Duxbury Beach. And it, you know, what you realize from the get-go is that we know the beach is always changing, but it's changed even before we kind of knew, you know, before there was recorded maps and things like that. There was the hurricane of 1635 that hit around here soon after the families began to settle in Duxbury. And that must have had a devastating, it was a Category 4 hurricane. And so there's history and there's prehistory. But the thing to know about the change that keeps happening to Duxbury Beach is it's Mother Nature, but it's also man. And we can see how early, it's called the Cut River behind Duxbury Beach, you know, by Blakeman's and to the Marshfield line. They were making a canal there, the first. Here's your little factoid for the day. The first canal in America was that canal in 1633.
After receiving his college degree in Vermont, Tim began his TV career. In 1987, he was with WMUR in Manchester. Knowledge and luck. True, we have much better tools for predicting weather today. Satellites, faster computer, better weather models. more history and so forth that I had. But you still need to be a knowledgeable scientist to effectively forecast the weather. Jim was born at a Cape Cod hospital 61 years ago. I don't know if that makes him a better person or not, but after receiving his college degree in Vermont, Tim began his TV career. In 1987, he was with WMUR.
Thank you, Tim. That was so nice. I was given 6 minutes to speech. I have 30 seconds left. That was so nice. I know. Linda asked me to write a little bio, and that was little. I mean, there's a lot more going on than that. When Tony started mentioning Daniel Webster, I recalled an article I read in the Smithsonian Magazine where Thomas Jefferson, he had an almanac. He was a farmer in Virginia, and he said that the climate was changing dramatically and that the frosts were less frequent and the ponds were freezing not so frequently. And
So Jim's going to show me his gauges inside the house because he's a meteorologist, did a lot of West Coast reporting. The Columbus Day storm in 1962 in Portland, Oregon, the wind went to 100 miles per hour. And he was there and he was forecasting on duty.
No, it's a nice setup.
And here in Duxbury, it's 77 degrees, 6:44 p.m. And we picked up 0.14 this week, 0.25 this month, 34 for the year. That's why the grass is all green. Watch out, fish, because you know what fish eat sometimes? Fish eat fish. Sometimes they get away though.
Look at all these good.
Wow, what a great place. Oh, look at the sun and the climbing roses and the hydrangea just about to bloom. Just so pretty. And we got a lagoon. And back to Weymouth, just in time for a sunset serenade. Beautiful Thursday. Nicest one of the year so far, I think. Take us home, Piano Man.